Hello and welcome to PBC's Women's Art Night. I am Bella.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are mother and daughter, so we got a cool women's situation going on here. So for tonight's activity, we are doing something that I personally enjoy a lot, and a lot of my friends here at PBC like to do as well, and it is an activity called bullet journaling. And with bullet journaling, it is basically a notebook that just has a bunch of bullets in kind of like a grid format. So it allows you to make shapes and organize all of your notes. And the difference between regular journaling and bullet journaling is you can organize it in a way with pictures as well and almost make it look like a piece of art instead of just plain notes. So we're going to take this time to discuss the supplies. So I know if you looked on the website, we did have a supply list that was optional, but if you did decide to buy any of those supplies, we have our journals right here. This is the same brand. And we also got a pack of these mild liners pens, and we did get some stickers. There was a variety of different types that you could get. The ones that I have from that selection were these Japanese stamp ones. So yeah, don't be alarmed though if you don't have any of these things. That is totally okay. Jenny here will be providing an example of this project that is not using any of that supplies, and then I'll be providing an example that has those supplies, so you'll be good to go.
Can I give an example?
Yeah, for sure.
So I am using a bullet journal, but you can totally use even just 2 pieces of paper, or if you have a journal of your own that you would like to use, you can grab that as well. We're going to be using 2 pages, so we're going to use a full spread on a regular journal, so 2 pages like this. But if you're just using paper, maybe you could even fold it in half so then you can see 2 sides. As far as supplies, I went for this, if you didn't order the optional supplies, you only have limited supplies in your house. So I got a box of crayons, so it's only not that many colors. And then I did grab a few markers as well. So if you happen to have some markers, even just 4 colors can work. But I won't be using any stickers or anything, so mine will be pretty limited supplies, but we can still make something cool with that.
Yeah, so feel free to follow along with the instructions. This is totally you can do whatever you want. Even if you bought the stickers and you actually don't want to use them for this particular bullet journal spread, that is totally okay. Maybe you can draw some pictures instead. It is totally up to you. Freedom, all of that. So
no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
Not
a competition.
No.
God will be happy with whatever you have created.
Yeah, so just a personal time of relaxing and just kind of taking a breath. And it's Friday, so just it's the end of the week, start of the weekend, so just a time to kind of come together as women and just take some time for ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to show you guys a little rough sketch of what the final product will look like, and I'll talk you guys through that. So what we have here is our little rough sketch of what the bullet journal spread is going to look like. So what you want to do with your 2 pieces of paper is you're going to leave this side as the start and this side as the end. Now, if we look at the top, what you're going to do is we're going to pick out a Bible verse. So what you want to do with the Bible verse is we're going to give you guys some time right now to think of a verse that resonates with you. So it can be one that you know already, or maybe you want to search up your own. We actually do have 4 verses for you guys that will show on the screen for you guys to search up. We have one about women, Psalm 46:5. We have one about peacefulness, 2 Thessalonians 3:16, one about healing, Isaiah 33:2, and we have one about patience, Romans 12:12. So I personally picked Romans 12:12, and
I picked Isaiah 33:2.
So we'll be showing our bullet journal spreads on those examples. So feel free to go get your supplies right now, your journal, your pens, colored pencils, markers, the whole shebang.
Bible.
Yeah, your Bible, very important. Yeah, so just feel free to pick those up if you already have them with you or you just got them real quick. Feel free to type in the live chat which verse you picked out. We would love to see your guys' examples, maybe inspire some other people. So yeah, now we already have our titles written down, which we're gonna explain. So yeah. Now that you have a Bible verse, let's move on to the title. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna write your verse's name, which I had already done. So don't get freaked out by the calligraphy that I did. I just like to do that with my bullet journal spreads. So I wrote Romans 12:12 right at the top. And then my partner Jennie wrote her title Isaiah 33:2.
Okay, so now we're going to take some time to write out our Bible verse and then do some decorations like Bella showed us in the example, kind of around it, and then we'll move on to the next step after that.
So feel free to also wait till after we show you our example. If that little rough sketch doesn't make too much sense, that's totally okay. We'll be showing like what we did after we're working on it here. So then you can like pause the video once you see the example and then take it from there. So yeah, let's get right into it. Okay.
Then I just need a black pen.
Okay.
So we're going to be doing it right along with you. We don't have anything prepared, so
yeah,
feel free to type in the live chat, as Bella said before, the verse you picked out, and then also kind of maybe one word that describes how you're feeling tonight.
Yeah, feel free to type in anything, like, hey, how's it going? Have fun with it.
Yeah, I would estimate, what do you think, like 5 minutes here doing this portion?
Yeah, this is just like it's just the title and finding the verse. It's pretty simple. Yeah, nothing too crazy. So what colors are you using tonight, Jennie?
I'm going to use, well, so far I'm going to use like this purple, a blue, kind of a mustard.
Ooh, mustard.
A green.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. So that's
me,
what are you using?
Yeah, for me, I'm doing a bit of a lavender theme. Something I've kind of done with a lot of my bullet journal spreads before, like purple and green. So yeah, I feel like bullet journaling is definitely like, you do whatever, you get to use whatever colors you want, or maybe just not even like use any color. Sometimes people just go with black and white, but like
that could be cool.
Yeah,
minimal.
Yeah.
You don't have to be all crazy colors.
Exactly.
So, and I'll have you guys know, this is my first time bullet journaling, so do not expect like super polished. This is just having fun and just hanging out. So we'll see kind of what comes.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I'm gonna take a sticker, and this will be just an example on what I mean by the sticker at the top of the page.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at what verse I picked out, and I picked out the healing verse, and so I'm just kind of thinking about what embodies healing, maybe in kind of a little icon or something. I don't know if it works.
That sounds nice. I think for me, I want to like pick kind of like, I think I picked lavender because like my verse is on like patience, so like calming. That could have also worked with the 2 Thessalonians for like peace, but like, different sort of things going on. So, or your colors don't even have to match pretty much like the theme that the verse that you chose. It's totally up to you.
Yeah. So I think we'll just give you guys some time to work on this, and then we'll kind of come back.
We may like end up like deleting after this and then just kind of go to the end if you want. Like, are we gonna film the whole time here?
Because we're doing this with them, but now we just talked.
No, we'll cut it. Don't worry.
So when did you start bullet journaling?
I think I started bullet journaling pretty close to like, I think I started it like in the middle of 8th grade. That's kind of when it started becoming popular, like doing a lot of stationery and doing like calligraphy handwriting like I showed you guys was like super big during that time. And I just thought that it would be cool to like hop on the trend.
Okay, so if you have your Bible, you can just go ahead and write out your verse.
Yeah, so like I said, you can do a little border around it. Even if you don't want to do the border, that's fine. Like I said, everything is up to you in this. It's just fun to be able to like organize everything with funky borders. So yeah, we're just gonna take the time to write our verse out now.
The good thing about this being a video is that if you need more time for a specific section, you can pause it and then just go back and play it. Or if you missed something or something was confusing, you can go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, it's totally cool to take your time with this. Like, even if it takes you more than an hour, that's like totally fine. It's all about just like making it how you want. We can cut it out. It's okay. Damn.
I'm just realizing how small of print the Bible is.
Because of like vision.
Yeah.
As you grow up.
As you grow a little older, suddenly these words get smaller for some reason. So how many of y'all can relate to that?
Yeah, type it in the chat. Type it in the chat if you feel that struggle. Is the Bible easy to read, or is it quite difficult?
Yeah, it's shrinking as we speak for me. Just curious, how many of you all ordered the supplies in advance? Or how many of you are using kind of what you had at home? Just write that in the chat.
Write that in the chat. We just want to get the chat full of good vibes, you know?
I think we should add, we've never done this before.
Yeah, like a video like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never like filmed something remotely close to a YouTube video. Yeah, so this is definitely different. I mean, I've edited videos before, but never like filmed my art process, you know?
So we're very new to this.
Yeah.
So we'll just kind of see what comes.
But just, yeah, like, we'll be patient with all of you guys, but be patient with us too.
Yeah,
so
we don't know what we're doing, but we're just trying to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's just all about having a good time. It's like, you know, if you find yourself being stressed with bullet journaling, I think I actually felt that at one point, is being like, it just like ruins the vibe, you know? Like if you're like stressed with making it perfect, or like if you're like, oh, do I need to like rip out the page? Do I need to like cross it out? You know, like, then you might just, you know, like, if you're a perfectionist with it, I feel like it's like either bullet journaling is super for you or super not for you. Because if you're a perfectionist, you like want to make your spread look super good, but then if you're like, if you're too much of a perfectionist, like if you do the title wrong or something like that, it might get a little crazy. But I think it's just about like rolling with what you create, you know?
Yeah. It's just about the process. I think it's like a metaphor maybe for life, where it's like, you know, sometimes things just don't work out well. And you just let it be.
Okay, now that we finished that step, I know it seems like we took a lot longer for this step, but you know, that's all okay. So what I did was I wrote my verse out here, I did a little outline to kind of match it, and then Jennie here did hers a bit bigger, which is good, and did a little flower outline with some colors. So yeah, feel free if you just chilled during that time to take the time now to catch up on anything. You can go back, totally up to you. Now, moving on to the next step. So right here, we're going to be doing a little drawing on how we feel about the verse. You can draw out like stick figures, you can draw like a happy face, you can draw flowers, like whatever the verse makes you feel, just draw it out, whether it be like scribbles or different colors, just anything. It can be super abstract. And then right below it, you can do, depends on how big your picture is, you can do like a big title or a little title of like what you're gonna call your art piece. You know, like flower heaven or smiley face birthday, you know, crazy things. So yeah, and then right below it, what we're gonna do is just kind of do another line. You can draw little doodles there too, just kind of like make it sort of similar to how your title was, so then it'll be all kind of tied in together. And then after that, we'll be done with the first page. So again, just draw your picture, give it a title, and then do a little bottom line to tie it together. Okay, so for my Bible verse, I noticed that it says, rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer. So maybe like someone praying with like a clock next to them and like a bunch of hearts, where it's like you're in constant prayer and you're hopeful about it, you know? Mm-hmm. So what do you think you're gonna draw?
Mine is the Isaiah 33:2. So it says, Lord, be gracious to us, we long for you. Be our strength every morning, our salvation in times of distress. So I think we categorize that one as the healing, and is in the healing category. And so I need to think. I think I have a harder time drawing figures or anything that might look even remotely realistic. And so for me, it's helpful to get into like a meditative state of probably just more designs. Mm-hmm. So more abstract, where I can just really just kind of check out and let kind of the process happen rather than worried about the actual drawing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Which is totally cool. We can always do like, yeah, whatever you want. Whatever makes you feel, put it on the page. So, yeah, we're gonna get started now.
So like, just try to remember, no one's gonna see this.
Yeah, you know,
just
like if it looks like crazy and just like kind of whack, you know, just don't worry about it. Like, you know, your brain wouldn't have led you to make that if that's not how you felt about the verse, you know? Like, everything happens for a reason. So like, that was your first instinct, that's what you felt, and that's okay.
Yeah. Just roll with it, it's fine. We have a bag over here and something fell in it and it made us think there was a little
ghost
critter or something in the bag. I think we thought maybe our cat wound up finding his way in the room, which he's not supposed to be in the room.
He's not supposed to be in my room, which is where we are, by the way.
Yeah.
If you guys love my room, I've been doing some redecorating in here, and I'm getting some posters, which on the wall that you guys are on right now is completely blank. So I've been ordering a lot of posters off of Etsy, which has been fun, because now my room will be complete. But on this side, we got all my plants. So we got like a hanging succulent up there. We got this bamboo that I've had forever. We got a little umbrella plant here. And we also have a fern up here, a little succulent right there, in an Arizona can, by the way, which I made by myself. And then we have another one of these mini succulents up on the bookshelf, which I need to put into the Arizona can. So yeah, comment in the chat if you guys have a favorite plant, you know? We want to get the chat going.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I personally...
should it be an indoor or outdoor?
Oh, that's a good question. I think any plant, because sometimes it's hard to figure out which plants are indoor and outdoor. I think out of all the plants that I have, I really do like the hanging... Oh, I forgot to mention, I do have an ivy behind Mom here. It's like right here. I really like the ivy, and I think it's pretty easy to take care of. I found out you only need to like water it a little bit because they actually prefer drier soil. So yeah, because I think eventually it'll start growing down, and I want it to like hang off my bookshelf. So yeah, I think that that's pretty cool. I also really like the fern. So what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I have a hard time keeping plants alive.
Yeah.
So Ella definitely has more plants than I do. So I would say, I mean, when I come in her room, I really like her plants. So I think the succulents are cute, you know, so I like them. I would say is my favorite.
Yeah.
I think all of them are going to be cute when they just continue to grow and hopefully continue to like the environment.
Yeah, they don't seem to be hating it so far.
Yeah.
I don't think I've done a fabulous job with keeping plants alive in the past, but then again, I don't really remember when I've had plants in my room, so yeah. This might be the first time I've had like actual like definitely this many living plants in my room. So yeah.
She's a plant mom.
I'm a plant mom now, which I never thought I would be. So this is lovely.
Oh, it's big. It's a big step.
Yeah.
Keeping multiple things alive in the room.
Exactly.
Yeah. You never got that hamster we talked about.
Oh my.
And there was a reason.
There's a reason.
Because of this room.
There's a little story time here. So my room, I don't know if you can tell from the video, but it's not that big, like at all. And over the years, I've had to do a lot of redecorating, reorganizing, and moving a lot of furniture because I've just never been super satisfied with how I had arranged things. I used to have a loft bed in here actually, and we got rid of that like fairly recently. We did that over quarantine because like I thought that it was a really good use of like the space, but it just made it feel like an apartment, and like it made it just feel very... I liked the idea of a modern room, but it was like way too much. Like it was like, it looked more like an office in here than like my like a room, and I thought I liked that, but like no, like once I got like an actual bed that's on the floor, you know, like because I had that loft bed for so long, it like felt so much better. And yeah, I've done like a lot with my room. Like I actually have a record player over here, which is like one of my favorite things in my room. And this little cow print thingy right here is a mini fridge that I keep sparkling water and my skincare in. So that's also another favorite part of my room. And also, I have a rotary phone. So that's also another very favorite part of my room. It doesn't like go there, we just brought it for the video, to put into the background. But okay, my room actually has a phone jack. So if we connect that phone jack to something, the phone might work. Because
something might happen.
Something might happen.
Wow.
Because when we bought this, it's an actual antique phone. Like it's real.
From an antique store.
From
which,
an
by
antique
the way,
store. We love antiquing. Yeah. So if we have any like older ladies out there who love antiquing too, or younger ladies, if you're like me, you know, yeah, I love it so much. It's like my favorite thing. I love old things, and like just like the vintage feel is just awesome, you know.
But then we were gonna share why you didn't get a hamster.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. I get so sidetracked with things.
So
like,
do I. If anyone knows me, tangent. A lot of tangents happen.
Yeah, I didn't even finish the hamster story.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, it's very small in here. We like antiquing. I'm getting stuff for my room. Been redecorating. I've been rearranging it a lot throughout the years, and before I even began rearranging it, this was back when my room was like painted teal and I had stuffed animals everywhere. So I wanted a hamster because I was like, oh my gosh, like that would be so cute, a hamster, you know, like, yeah. And I don't think I realized like how ridiculous that was. So yeah, I had a little pink table in my room that I then one day cleared off and kept cleared off so I could practice having my hamster cage there. And I would practice shooting a fan at it on the hot days, so then I would practice to be able to cool off the hamster. So we never got that hamster.
We never got the hamster. He had a name and everything. What
yeah.
was his name gonna be?
Oh, I don't remember.
Was it a cute name?
Oh my gosh. It was named after a street near Gunn High School in Palo Alto. It was named after a street.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Now I really want to know what it was.
I know. It'll probably come to us long after we finish the video.
Yeah. Like I'll be sleeping and be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What is that?
So this room it's very hard to get warm, and it's very hard to get cool.
Yeah. So it's like during the warm months, it's like just fire.
Yeah.
And then during the cold months, it's like an Arctic cave. Like our house is old, so like
it's not insulated.
It's not insulated, so we don't have AC, but we have like these like weird heaters that like you gotta wall heaters that you gotta like light. You know, it's like, just like light it yourself,
like the pilot light.
Yeah. So
it's kind of old.
It's So like we love antiquing and we live in an old house. So maybe it's just destiny.
I don't know. Yeah.
But
so we were worried. Yeah. We were worried about this hamster coming in this room.
Yeah, because we were like, oh gosh, it's gonna like, you know, maybe suffer from the temperature changes.
We have a cat, so we can't leave the door open.
Oh god, yeah.
Like, you know, that might be tragic.
Yeah, I used to have a fish, fun fact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Bubbles.
Mr. Bubbles. He was a betta fish. I got him on Father's Day because we, you know, went on like a little, we went to the fair, yeah. And I wanted to win one of those goldfish games. And
you did.
Like I did, but then the prize was like this like brown fish. It was, and we're like
they were calling a goldfish.
That they were calling a goldfish. And I'm like, this is from like some dirty pond or something. Like, okay, this is what happened then. So like, okay, they had like this display case of what like the goldfish were. They're these beautiful goldfish.
Beautiful fish.
Beautiful.
Bright,
And
gold,
yeah, bright, healthy looking. And then we like see the tank that they like pull out, and they're like, all right, pick one. And I'm like, I would like one of the ones up there, you know, up there. And then they're like, oh, those are for display only. And I'm like, well then why doesn't my fish look like that? So that was kind of a ripoff.
Yeah, I don't even think we took it. Like, we're like,
no, we didn't even take it.
No.
And so, but I still really wanted a fish, because like my parents were like, okay, well once we get it, we have a fish now. So we like mentally prepared ourselves. So then, we decide to actually go to Pet Food. No, not Pet Food Express. PetSmart. Yeah. And I bought a betta fish. And we got him a little tank and everything.
He was blue.
And he was blue.
Pretty, really pretty.
He was really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
He got constipated a lot. So that's
he
a
did.
fun fact.
And how did we even know that? It was like he was acting sluggish.
He was acting
He'd be like at the bottom
sluggish.
of the tank.
He'd just be super still.
And so we had to get him like...
Yeah, we had to like get him... this is what you have to do if you have a constipated betta fish. You get dried up peas.
With like frozen peas.
Frozen peas. And you take a little skewer or a fork, and you put it in there.
Like a little piece of the pea, not the whole
piece of
pea.
the pea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's tiny. And you just gotta stick it in there and have them eat it.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Clears them out.
It was just yeah, a lot.
That's a lot of maintenance for like a fish. I didn't think would have a lot of maintenance.
Exactly, because then we had to get him a way bigger tank.
And then a heater, because they don't
then a water heater. Yeah.
Something like the gauge thing for like
chlorine. See because you had to condition the water.
Yeah, it was
fish
like
are so much. Dude.
It's a lot of work.
Like you might as well get multiple fish, then, because we just had the one, and like taking all of that care for just one seemed like okay, it was kind of crazy now, you know.
Yeah, it was just a lot more than we thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, other pets though we do have. So we didn't get the hamster, so poor kid. We told her she could get a hamster like what, 10 or 11. And
yeah, and I was like,
she's gonna be 16 and like there's no hamster. And I don't think you'd want
I don't even want
one.
Point. No. There's like no room in here for that.
And she keeps her room really immaculate. And so smelling like a barn kind of thing.
A barn?
Well, no, like a hamster cage.
Oh,
like no, unless you keep it perfect.
It would smell like a barn.
It might smell like a barn.
I thought you were saying it already did smell like a barn.
Oh, no.
And I'm like,
no, it smells, this room smells like, what?
Like, okay, let's see.
Flowers.
If you want to know what my room smells like, take like a yoga studio deep in the Himalayas. Imagine you're sitting there and there's like a singing bowl and it's like everyone's like Om and just everything is super peaceful. You're in a yurt and like and you're like vibing with the universe, you know?
Sure.
And they like light some incense and like this is like in the Himalayas, so like you got the ultimate incense. So that's what my room smells like a lot of the time, because I also have a diffuser, so I have like this pine and firwood scent. That's my absolute favorite, so that also smells really good and what kind of the room smells like as well. Or it might smell like my perfume, which I have right there. It's wild poppy. So yeah,
she likes like earth smells. Like yeah, pine, eucalyptus, like that.
I love
kind
eucalyptus.
Of smell. Yeah. So should we kind of move on to the next section?
All right. So now that we're done with that, let's kind of review what we did. So for me, I drew my little picture here, little person praying, some hearts and a clock to represent my title, In Constant Prayer. And then I did my little line here at the bottom. I kind of did two this time, but you see how it like ties in with the little leaves. I did some more leaves down here to just kind of bring it all together. So now with my mom's, She's not quite done with coloring her pictures yet, but she's gonna go back and do that, which if that's the same with you guys, feel free to do that or pause the video. It's all good. And she did her little title right here and her lines. So she did Pictures of Healing, which is a great title. So yeah, now that we're done with that, let's move on to the next step. Okay, so the next step is where the reflection is coming in. So before we start with that though, make sure, again, where we left off with the little line right here, we'll draw another line up at the top. So it kind of goes all the way across, and we'll eventually end up doing another line at the bottom. So it's kind of like, looks like a whole spread. So feel free to do that. Make sure like you do like any little touches you want. And then what we're gonna do after that is we're gonna elaborate on what this verse makes us feel. So feel free to write a little paragraph here. It can be super short, it can be actually really long. Just make sure to leave room for our next step, which is going to be another picture. So yeah, and then while you're writing, make sure if any words stand out, don't mind this part yet, we're going to get to that, but if you have any words that stand out or are your favorite, make sure to highlight them, and then we'll tell you what to do with that afterwards. Cool, so now we're gonna start with writing our elaboration on what like the verse makes us feel. So like we drew it out, so now we're gonna write it out, which it might be easier for some of you, might be a little harder, which is okay. Just write anything that comes to mind. Like maybe say how it resonates with you, like maybe a situation where like you used it and it made you feel better, or maybe write how like you discovered it. You could write, I found this verse on the internet, or I learned this verse from this video, you know, and just like, you know, like just kind of elaborate on it. Yeah. You know, write whatever comes to mind.
Yeah, this probably would look more like a traditional journal entry at this point, to where, you know, just where it's like more text. So just, yeah, writing out maybe even how your day was, just whatever's on your mind is fine too. So we're just gonna spend some time writing, and
yeah, like pretty much like, yeah, it doesn't have to be about like the verse. I'm gonna make mine about the verse, but yeah, if you, like Jennie said, if you want to do anything that's just kind of like how you're feeling, that's totally fine. But also make sure, like if you are writing about the verse, make sure like anything that you kind of talk about, like any favorite words that you've written, or like if you write about your favorite words, like make sure to highlight them. You know, anything that stands out, that's like one word or like a line, you can highlight it. And I'll tell you what to do with that for the next step. So make sure to draw your line at the top, and then we can just start writing.
So Bella and I want to hear about, did you guys have any pets when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, because we were talking about a hamster and the fish situation. Yeah. I've had my cat that I currently have like for a really long time. But yeah, if you guys have any like pets or your favorite childhood pets, like please let us know in the chat. Yeah. We would love to hear about any cool pets you have, maybe some lizards or exotic animals would be cool to hear about. Yeah, feel free to share. So yeah. Okay. Do you think you're done? Or do you need a little bit more time?
I think I'm done. I got a fair amount written, which was, yeah.
Yeah, I think I did too. So,
do you want to share a little bit about what you wrote? You don't have to read it, but
yeah. And also, if you guys like want to share about anything you wrote, feel free to do that in the chat as well. For me, I kind of wrote like how like each part of the verse made me feel. Even though it's like literally one sentence, like I just kind of wrote down what about it like was like comforting or like made me happy. So yeah. What about you?
yeah, I mean, it's about healing, right? So I didn't really know what I was going to write when I started writing. But I think, you know, what I have found actually healing right now during this time and whatnot that we've all been going through as a world is actually being in nature. I think I appreciated going out, and definitely Bella and I loved going to Half Moon Bay and the beach and whatnot, but really once we were able to go to the beach, I just, whenever we're going there, I just feel like rejuvenated and just being in God's creation. So I wrote that just as being kind of a rejuvenating thing, and kind of getting me out of some of the maybe like funks I've been in over this whole time in quarantine. So I just wrote that, yeah, I'm just thankful for God's creation and just the healing that I've been feeling as I get out in it.
Okay, so now moving on to what we did. So for me, I just wrote a short little paragraph. I wrote some words that stood out to me, and Jennie also did the same. So yeah, that's kind of just our example. So now for the next step though. So kind of next to your paragraph, draw like a little circle or maybe a square, giving you space to maybe draw some arrows from your favorite words to the circle or square, or you don't have to do any arrows if you don't want to or if it doesn't really fit, but write down your favorite words in this circle or square just to kind of like, once you see them, you're like reminded about like why these words make you feel the way that you feel. Also, if you didn't leave a space for right next to your paragraph, that is totally okay. Jennie gave us an example where you can just do it right below. So yeah, now let's move on. All right, so let's begin. So feel free in the chat to say if you did a circle or square, you know? Like, just feel free to share. We love hearing like what you guys have to say during this little art moment we're having.
So you can write down some of the words that you highlighted.
Yeah, if you feel comfortable, definitely share that. Alright, so with this step, it's just fairly simple. It's a little circle with the words that we highlighted, and a little box with the words that she highlighted. So yeah, now we're going to move on to the next part. So the next part and the final part is draw how you feel after doing this project, and then finish it off with another line kind of going with the other one that you drew. So whether you feel happy, average, you know, whatever, you don't have to draw a smiley face. Like Jennie said before, you can draw like shapes or colors or just anything, kind of similar to how this picture was. Make it how you want, just basically draw how you feel at this moment.
Yeah, so if you want to write in the live chat kind of a little, maybe one sentence of how you're feeling after doing your project. Yeah. And not everything has to be like happy, so I know a lot of people have been going through a lot of stuff, so kind of just we want to hear from you how you're feeling.
Exactly. Like you know, life isn't easy, and you know, sometimes just sharing a little snippet about it is helpful. You know, feel free if you feel comfortable to just, you know, share, or like share what you're drawing, for example. So yeah, or like any colors that you're using. It would be super cool to hear. So yeah, let's get into it. I think this time I'm gonna be doing like maybe more colors instead.
Bella and I watch a lot of YouTube videos, so I think we're trying to channel our YouTube video people that we watch and
we're trying to be like them.
We're trying to be like them. I think we're really developing a new appreciation for
a lot of YouTubers.
Yeah,
because
it's annoying.
Because like we understand that this video is like a bit longer than the average YouTube video is like. So yeah, but definitely like still, even though YouTubers like videos are like 12 to 17 minutes on average, it's like it's still a lot of work, you know?
Yeah, they sometimes have like whatever 6 hours of footage.
Yeah, 6 hours of footage and have to like crunch it down into like 12 to like 17 minutes. Like obviously there's like longer videos sometimes, but like goodness, it's like a lot of work to make sure it all just kind of flows together. And yeah.
So Bella is right now searching for her first job.
Yeah, so that's different. Because, okay, I've been doing a lot of searching, and every place is kind of different, and sometimes the people that work there seem kind of weird. And yeah, it's been a process. But okay, so the day we're filming this is on Tuesday, but you guys will be seeing this on Friday. So I actually have a job interview tomorrow.
First one ever.
First job interview, which is surprising that I got it though, because I got it without even giving my resume. I just asked if they were hiring, and the guy that's there is like, oh yeah, I'm doing interviews next week on Wednesday, and yeah, and then I'm gonna be bringing my resume then.
So she had to write a resume, which was
yeah,
like
I had to
deal.
write a resume as well. So that was definitely like a process. So
I think we were surprised at how much experience you had that was volunteer.
yeah,
But,
I
like,
basically have only done volunteer work. Fun fact, most of it was at PBC because I've been a camp counselor there for Vacation Bible School, and I also was a YMAC. So yeah, definitely glad that I did those. And yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. So by the time that this is uploaded, I'll have done that. So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But,
So yeah, if you want to type in the chat, like,
what's been your job experience? Do you remember your first job? You know, is what you're doing right now your first job? Like, yeah, type in the chat. What was your first job, or what was your favorite job? Which is, I feel like, a good question. Yeah. One thing I've heard from, this was my 7th grade teacher who said this, is like, everyone should be a waitress at least once in their life, because it's a lot of hard work. And I think I would be a waitress at least once in my life, like maybe. Definitely not as my first job though, because I know that it is difficult. Everyone is always like, you'll earn an appreciation for the people who do like waitressing and stuff like that, because yeah, I hear it's like a lot of work.
Yeah,
so,
and sometimes people aren't the nicest.
And sometimes people aren't the nicest and can be very particular, and sometimes you run into some mean people.
Yeah.
But you gotta be ready for that in life. And although it's not fun to have to deal with that, it does happen. So hopefully that doesn't happen to me too close to my first day of working with wherever I end up. But yeah, I'm very excited for this interview. I don't know how it's gonna go, because the place I'm interviewing at said that their job interview is kind of like a competitive experience. Like, I went on the website and they used that word, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay, what does that mean? So, like, we thought maybe it's like, here, practice selling me this shirt, and like that's how the interview goes. So,
and like whoever does it the best,
gets it,
wins that portion. We're literally guessing, but we just didn't know what in the world it could mean by having a competitive interview process.
Yeah, exactly.
And it said it was going to be fun.
And it said it was going to be fun. Like, the interview process is fun. So I'm like, okay, we'll see how it goes.
We'll see.
So, yeah. So,
stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that.
Update you, yeah.
Yeah, by the next time we do the video, I hope I'll have a job, or be closer to it.
She's putting in, all the effort she really can. So it's like, doing all the steps, following up with people. I think the biggest lesson is just, if you hear no at first, or things aren't clear, that the value of following up
is very important.
Yeah, not giving up at the first sign of a door potentially not being open. So yeah.
Alright guys, so this is the finished product. So what I did here is I just drew I actually did end up drawing a picture. I drew some little balloons with smiley faces and like happy colors, and I wrote, I feel happy. And then I did my final bottom line. So you can see how it kind of all goes across, and it's just like a really nice touch. And then here for Jennie's, she did a nice little book with a little paintbrush. And then she did her bottom line too. So yeah, on a whole, like, I feel like this is pretty good, pretty successful. So yeah. Alright, so that concludes our PBC Women's Art Night. I just wanted to thank you guys so much for joining this video, and just being able to join along if you did. And make sure to invite anybody for the next time. And I just wanted to say, this is really, I think it's just a good experience, and it's just fun to be able to know that this will be going out to some lovely ladies out there. And I hope that this was relaxing for you, and maybe like if you want any like particular things for the next idea, comment it in the chat, like we should do this color theme, or like, maybe a favorite color theme, something like that, because we're always open to ideas. And feel free, if you do want to order that supply list, you can still do that. And for sure, you don't have to as well. Everything works. You saw a lovely example from Jennie on how to do it with no stickers and markers and crayons. And then I'm using most of the supplies that is in the list. Any of these, if you saw any of these pens, it's just equivalent to markers. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Do you want to add anything?
No, just reminder for the URL. So pbc.org/artnight to see the upcoming dates as well as the optional supply list.
All right. Yeah. All right. Take care.
Bye.